Talk about the markers as we become a bigger deal in our niche, which I'm just taking this. It's like we are all going to become
We are.
bigger deals in our niche. Okay.
Yes.
So what are some of the markers for you along the way? I know I had like a financial marker that was like, when I get there, then I will feel like a big deal. What have been some of your markers along the way?
So I remember for so long it was, I sell digital courses, and it was, I need to have $1 million launch in order to feel as though I've made it. So this $1 million launch was a big marker of mine for a long time. And when I hit it, the funny thing happens is all of a sudden my head is, well, when I do a $5 million launch, that's when I know. So the financial markers are so dangerous, as I'm sure you know as well, because we can decide right now that we are a bigger deal and we will step into it and make it so. And so having these financial markers, I think they're great. And be very cognizant of the fact that your expectations get a little bit wonky as the numbers start getting bigger and you want more and more. But I also had markers such as when I finally had a team where I wasn't doing everything, that's when I knew I was moving in the right direction. And when I started to get testimonials from people saying, you changed my life, that my business is different, I hit $1 million mark, those were markers for me. I wanted to hear the stories, proof that my products were working. And so I think having markers be more about the people you serve and what that looks like versus just the numbers. I think the numbers are important, but I also think all the other things along the way are so important in terms of markers. I also think that we all need to celebrate more. I definitely do not celebrate. We just did a launch.
Just on to the next thing.
Right. On to the next thing all the time. And this launch we just did, we were on a first day, we had hit $1 million. It's so crazy how your business can change, where that was my marker for a launch. Now it was day one, we had hit $1 million days to go. And we stopped and we opened up, my team and I, we opened up a bottle of champagne and we celebrated in that moment. I haven't been that great at celebrating like that. And I think we need to do moments like that for ourselves and for our team, because celebrating all the wins is important and it makes it more fun.
I love that. You talked a little bit about impact, and I was wondering what role did the impact you could make have on your willingness to play a bigger game, to show up more?
That's a great question. I got really clear as to why I was doing this. And when I really was honest that beyond, I want to make a great living and I want the freedom. And I do want that. I want to call the shots and I want the sky to be the limit in terms of my revenue potential. But beyond that, at the end of the day, you could have all the money in the world. But if I wasn't making a difference for my students, if I didn't have stories, like the ones that I have, where I got an email the other day from a woman, her name was Christina, and she said, I just want to let you know that I made $1 million in 1 year with your help. And
wow.
And she got to go on vacation with her family and be home with her kids and be more present. That's the stuff that I live for. And even the small wins, like I just made $10,000 on my first webinar. And I know it's not about the money, because the next sentence is, that means I know how to make money online. So now the sky's the limit. I could do anything I want. I could quit my job. I could come home and be with my family. I could do the things I want to do. When those stories, when I started to really listen to them, I realized I'm in this for them. And that's what gets me out of bed, genuinely what gets me out of bed these days. So it's important. That impact is important to me.